So here we are in our Markov Rhythm Maker patch, and there are quite a few things different. First one is that we're generating rhythms and not notes, which should be readily apparent. But beyond that, we're generating clock signals with our metro. We're going 0 through 7 over and over and over again, evenly. And this represents, I guess, eighth notes in this case. And you can say we're keeping the time with our metronome, right? The clock signals are coming down here, going into metronome, and then going into dumb drum, which is just a drum version of dumb synth. And then our other branch here is going and it's hitting our rhythm Markov chain abstraction, which is generating rhythms and sending them out the bottom here and turning those into dumb drum signals as well. So you may have noticed that this rhythm Markov chain abstraction is taking numbers, and our other one took bangs. Now what on earth is going on here? Well, let's open up the abstraction and see what's going on. Okay, so here's what we've got. Now, you may notice that we have our old abstraction inside of here, and it's performing a very specific function. But I think the best way to understand what's going on inside here is just to take it one step at a time, literally. For instance, say we've got a 0. The first thing that ever comes in here is a 0. It travels down this cable and hits the select, and the select is set to 0, so it sends a bang out to our tiny Markov chain abstraction. Now, the Markov chain abstraction sends out a number, and now what does that number represent? In this case, it represents the next step that select will send out a bang. You can see we're sending that number back to select. So say tiny Markov chain spits out a 5. Well, the next thing that's going to go around, the next number that's going to come in is a 1, right? And select is set to 5, so nothing's going to happen. A 2, select is set to 5, nothing's going to happen. 3, 4, select is set to 5, nothing's going to happen. But then on step 5, select sends out another bang, and tiny Markov chain selects the next thing. Maybe we'll say it's 7, right? And it sets that select back to 7. Now, the last thing that came in was a 5, so now 6 comes in. Nothing happens because select is set to 7. And then 7 comes in, and bang! Select sends out a bang. And you see, this is how we're generating rhythms. Some are on, some are off. The way we send that to the outside world is the next number that's going to sound gets sent out the output. And then this send thing is just if you want to jam the feedback loop and just say, well, okay, just no matter what, screw our algorithmic ideals here. We just want the next thing to be 0. Then we can send a 0 in here. But the basic thing is we are selecting the next step at which we are going to have a rhythmic beat. Yeah, that's how that's working. Let's see if we can do a little editing here to show you exactly what's going on, because I know this is confusing. So first of all, we can show that our clock is coming in the top, 0 through 7. In fact, let's slow it down a little bit. Now we really know it's 0 through 7. And we can also see that sometimes we're getting bangs out the select, and sometimes this empty output is being used. And that's anything that's hitting this bang is not being sent anywhere. And we can also see that this tiny Markov chain is sending the next rhythmic element to sound. Now let's take a look at the Markov chain and see how this plays out, the col file, and see how that plays out in there. I'm not going to save that. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got an 8x8 grid. Let's zoom in here. I'm just going to copy and paste it into a comment so we can explode it. Yes. Okay. So what goes on? Say we're on step 0. What do we want the next beat to be? Or the next rhythmic emphasis. We're on 0, so we don't want to wait a whole measure until 0 comes back around. So we're going to set that probability to 0. But we might want to, when the next step, the next rhythmic step, we might want it to sound. So we say this is 4. Or we could wait until 2. Or we could wait until 3. And then the rest are set to 0. So we could wait for 1, 2, or 3 to roll around and we'd have a rhythmic beat. Now, say we're on 1. Say we select 1. Well, now 1 is going to roll around, right? And we're going to send our Markov chain 1. And now we could wait for 1 to, or for 0 to roll all the way back around. We're probably not going to wait an entire measure just for 1 to roll around. But these rest of these are fairly probable to very probable. Except for 7. We're never going to wait for 7 to roll around. That's set to 0. So you can see how this works. It may take some staring at it and some disassembling to figure out, to intuit it a little bit better. But if you have any questions, then you should ask me. That is one assignment. You should ask me a question. The other thing that you should do, regardless, is add something to your My Markov music file that uses this abstraction here, and you can write your own script for it in your col file. It could be a drum, it could be a kick drum, it could be any number of things. Probably shouldn't be the exact same. It shouldn't use dumb drum, but it should be, be creative with it, have fun. You've now got something that can generate fairly intelligent rhythms. So go ahead and use it, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.